You know it well, you just lived through it. Commitments to coaches in the NBA can be very fleeting. To be here and join this Pistons franchise, what enticed you most, and what did their commitment to you mean to you as you stand here as the 37th Pistons head coach?
I mean, I think anytime you have a guy like Troy that wants to be your partner, the people in Detroit may not know it, but Troy is one of the most respected GMs, people in that position in the league, just because of the way he handles his business, no fanfare, he just does his thing. And I had a chance to work with him at OKC, and I saw that. We come from the same area, but I didn't get a chance to work with him until OKC, and I just saw a plotter. You know, he just goes about the work and he goes home. And when he called me the first time, I couldn't even talk to him. And then he called me a week later and we talked. And I told him my situation, and he was generous enough to say that we'll wait. And that really impacted me. So I prayed about it, went to sleep. I woke up the next morning and I just told him I couldn't do that to him. I understand the process, and I didn't know when I'd be able to coach again. I thought I'd have to take a break from coaching just because of my situation with my wife. And he called me again a week later, and it just so happened that we had found out that we may know sooner that I could get back to coaching because of the testing that she had gone through. So that was it. It was Troy, his belief in me, and then just sitting with Mr. Gores at his house and just kind of talking about the vision, talking about our families, being real about what we wanted to do, gave me an ease about joining this particular team. And then the players, you know, around the league, these guys they're not feared just yet, but a lot of people around the league look at this team and they say they're right there. They need someone like you, but like I said during the press conference, my pastor told me that you may need some guys just like them, and that excites me.
You're a man of faith, and I know you described that your pastor is your biggest mentor. You revealed during the press conference that your wife found out she had breast cancer during the postseason. Faith in a basketball team that just finished in last place again says a lot from a man who came from a contending situation. When you look at a guy like Cade Cunningham and the rest of the young pieces in this situation, what gives you the most confidence in their talent and your talent and taking that next step together?
I think when you look at the progression that they've made, the injuries held them back last year. I think that win total might have been a bit different. But when I see 11, 12 guys in the gym in May and in June, not everybody in the NBA can say that. They may say it, but they're not telling the truth. It's just not the way it is. To have all of these guys in the gym focused on getting better and doing it without a coach, that was pretty impressive. As a matter of fact, Troy sent me a picture one day before we got the deal done, and he had all the guys line up, and he sent it to me while I was in Phoenix, and it messed me up. I was like, dude, I'm coming, you know. But it gave me more excitement when you have a hungry group that wants to get better, and they have talent, and they have character. How could you not be excited about a group like that?
You have a big family, you have 6 kids, and Tom suggested maybe that there was a vote within the family to convince you to stay in coaching. What was that vote? What was that process like with the family? Because I know it wasn't just your decision.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you've been in the league as long as I have, you realize you're moving your family around a ton. My first wife, Ingrid, every time I'd go through a tough time, you know, thinking about I could be home, I don't need to do this, she'd always remind me that because of what I'm doing, they get to do what they do. And that gives us options. And so because I've dragged them around the country, I couldn't not allow them to be a part of this process. My boys were entrenched in Phoenix. They had good club teams and all their friends there. And I talked to them about the possibilities of this being even more fun than Phoenix, and the fan base and the team, and they bought in. But then my wife, when I told her about the offer and all of the things in the offer that related to them, she just said, honey, you have to talk to them. You can't just turn this down. This is something that you have to explore. And the next day I was on a jet headed to LA, and that's how we got here.